그리고 지금은 이제 University of Florida 이 포트폴리오 에세이라고 해야 되나요? 이런 질문이 있어요. 왜 우리 학교에 오고 싶어 하는지. 그래서 이제 학교도 이렇게 코스 알아봐야 되고요. Reduces the basic practice of time-based. 오늘 아침 일어나가지고요. 이메일을 체크했더니 이게 얼마만이에요. 한 달 만에 지금 여기 영국 대학에서 이제 포트폴리오 보내라는 말을 하네요. 제가 여기서 헷갈리는 건요. 작품만을 넣는 게 아니라요. Research and its application including images from sketchbooks. 이게 choose media라고 하면요. 이거 어떻게 해야 되는 거지? 이해가 안 가네. Solemnly individual discover variety of art forms. Important, but it is more important to individually discover variety of art forms outside and gain inspiration for yourself. 말이 되나?
So your demand for the increase in your desire for more.
Are you guys done with your AP exam?
These are flapjack octopi.
Oh, that looks like an octopus.
No, it's a penguin.
Look at that.
It's a beanie.
Please. What?
Wait, so is it like 60, 70 minutes?
Oh, it's recording. Oh.
Yeah, 70 minutes like MCQ with...
Hello again, high school kiddos! Welcome back to my video, and as I said from my last video, today I'll be explaining about my college application process. First of all, I applied to 9 colleges. For New York schools, I applied to SVA for design major, Pratt for graphic design, FIT for AS communication design. Other than New York, I applied to CCA for graphic design in California, and I applied to also Canadian schools, Emily Carr and OCAD. Lastly, I applied to UK schools, UAL, London College of Communications Department, and University of Brighton. I got all accepted and got $60,000 scholarship from CCA, but I got declined by University of Brighton.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say.
So I overall applied to US, Canada, and UK schools. Oh my god, I'm so multicultural. I'll be talking about my college process, but not all because I forgot the process since it's been 2 years after I graduated. My high school GP was overall 3.75. AP scores, I got 5s on 2 of my AP art exams, 5 on AP Calc AB, 4 on AP Stats, and 3 on AP Econ for both micro and macro. The highest SAT score I got was 1290 and SA score was 11, which was really bad. My IELTS score was 7. My TOEFL score was 88 because my stomach was feeling really painful in the middle of the test. Okay, let me first tell you why I chose FIT. First of all, I think New York is the best place to study design, and FIT is located in Midtown Manhattan, which is a good location. Also, FIT is cheap, and I also really like the design program here. I actually didn't expect that FIT would have a good design program because this school is well known for fashion. As a student who's taking second year of FIT, I really like what I'm learning so far, which is mostly about computer skills skills and how design works in industry. But for those who prefer doing a lot of handwriting, hand drawing, sorry, and want to learn design in a traditional way, I don't really recommend this school. I've seen many of my FIT friends willing to transfer because they want the hand skills to be part of learning design. But if you prefer to quickly get into the industry life and want to learn digital design in a technological way, this is a school for you. Moreover, FIT has a very unique program which is dividing 4 years into 2, AS and BFA. For the first 2 years of AS communication design, you get to learn everything about communication design, like graphic design, exhibition design, packaging design, and so on. You get to try different things in this major, and as you finish the first 2 years, you move on to BFA. There is a choice where you can select either 1 year or 2 years AS. But since 1 year AS is too rough, I chose 2 years, and even 2 years is a lot for me. Anyways, after finishing AS degree, there are a lot of BFA design majors you can choose, such as BFA, AD&D, and graphic design, VPED, and packaging design. But you need to reapply FIT, sending a new portfolio and 200 to 300 words of paragraphs for answering questions. So as a current sophomore, I'm a bit anxious, but since we already have a lot of works we made from the first 2 years, I guess I don't need to worry too much. Another reason for choosing the school is because I like how the school looks at GPA a lot compared to other art schools, and how the school is putting a huge importance on general education courses. I later noticed that learning gen ed courses help us understand the essence of like life, society, and help us develop our thinking, our idea for doing our job. In my generation, FIT required to let us write maximum of 750 words for general essay. It's words, not characters. And also I had to answer 2 questions with 200 to 300 words and prepare a portfolio with 15 pieces. Now let me tell you a huge mistake I made. Maybe I was damn stressed for preparing portfolio, but I forgot to send a general essay. The decision letter had to come, but it didn't, so I called the office and they said I didn't send the general essay. But luckily, the admission office gave me a week to write an essay, so I rushed writing a general essay, get my essay checked from my school counselor, and sent it. Then a month later, I got the decision letter. So a tip here is don't forget your general essay. List down things you need to send on like a whiteboard or on your planner. Anyways, the general essay question was, what makes you a perfect candidate for FIT? Why are you interested in this major? So basically, you talk about all your experiences, club activities, and accomplishments. Complementing the school, you don't really need to research deep about FIT because I didn't really do much research at that time. Just know that FIT has a unique program which is dividing AS and BFA program. Maybe you can talk about why you want to be in this unique program. The importance of this essay is you don't need to write a fancy, smancy essay indicating a historical designer and add a bunch of fancy metaphors. Just clearly answer the question and say facts. For me, I first talked about how I simply got interested in digital design, and then I slowly talked about my experience in art design. Then at the end, I said something like, I'm willing to discover more, blah blah blah, studying AS in this school, blah blah blah. After general essay, there are 2 questions to answer, and they were actually harder. First question was, please tell us what specifically attracts you to this major. Basically saying, why are you interested in this major? I told my inspiration about this digital artist in a random store, and I later talked about my approach to digital art, then my practice on digital art, and how I enjoyed working on it. Second question, the hardest one, was please describe a situation where your creative vision differed from a teacher or employer during an evaluation of your work. How did you handle the situation? When I saw this question, I thought of my art teacher telling me to approach minimalistic composition because my works were mostly maximalist. Technically, her advices were opposing to my style, but I talked about how I try to get inspired visiting a minimalism exhibition in the National Gallery, indicating the names of the pieces there and how those pieces were connected to my improved works. For portfolio advice, for my major portfolio, email. You can send your fine art pieces, but if you don't have any fine art pieces, it's fine. You can send digital pieces. For those who are wondering my portfolio for FIT, you can go check my past video about AP portfolio because those pieces are the ones I submitted. For University of Florida, you don't write an essay from Common App, but you get to write an essay with minimum of 2,500 characters, not words. I'll repeat again, not words. There's several questions listed there, and you can choose one of them to answer with an essay. I chose tell a story from your life describing an experience that either demonstrates your character or helped shape it. I wrote about my experiences in Korean Art Academy, experiences in Abu Dhabi and Dubai where I met different people from different nations, and lastly, experience in school from Singapore mixed with American culture. So I talked about how I went through 3 of these different perspectives and cultures and how that shaped my character. For portfolio, I just used Google Slide and showed only 7 pieces with 7 slides for this college. Then you also write a paragraph no more than 300 words answering this question. Please indicate why University of Florida is one of your top choices as well as your reasons for pursuing one of the majors. The tip here would be if you already got into other schools, you can just first write like, even I got into this school, I still consider University of Florida as one of my top choices. I wrote the short essay like this, and I think it's a good idea to show that you're that valuable to get chosen. And then I wrote something like how the diversity of students in this big school could make me approach to different cultures and different people. For CCA, I got $15,000 annual scholarship, and it's not that much. This was the only California school I applied because I couldn't find the program I want from other schools in California. Their essay questions were very hard. The personal essay question was tell a story from your life describing experience that either demonstrates your character or helped to shape it. Since this question is the exact same as the question I chose for University of Florida essay, I just copied and pasted from that essay. But I also had to write another essay with 500 words, and the question was like, CCA's mission is to develop an artist practice that culturally transforms the community through ingenuity and originality. In 500 words or less, tell us how your art reflects our values and may contribute to one or more of the following: community engagement, culture innovation, or social and environmental responsibility. I had to type some vocabs on Naver Dictionary. I looked at the question word by word and paraphrased it in an easier sentence. So basically, they want you to talk about how your art is not simply about doodling for fun, but how your art practically and socially help the society. For environmental responsibility, I wrote things I did in the Earthcraft Club I joined in high school, and in that club, we literally crafted useful things with recycling materials like plastic. For community engagement, I wrote about things I did in NHS. And lastly, for culture innovation, I wrote about how my badminton-related art pieces educated people about the Asian culture they didn't know. Alright, I'll now show y'all my portfolio for basically US and Canadian schools I applied with definitions. For several US schools, I used the same Slideroom website, so I'll just show y'all my screenshots from that, Slideroom. Now for UK schools, you need to go onto the UCAS site because that's where you apply. UK schools, it's like Common App in America. That's also where you send your personal statement essay for UK schools. Personal statement is less than 500 words, and I don't know why I don't remember the question, but the essay has to be about what you hope to achieve on the major and what you're hoping to do after study. This personal statement can be submitted to several schools, so I just wrote only one essay for 2 UK schools. My essay was quite hilarious because I basically talked about how I got fascinated with Adobe technologies. I was like,
The gradient curve, the Ludovico, technology, convenience, wow, wow.
I quite BS'd it because at that time I didn't have any good reason about how I got interested in graphic design, but I did talk about my effort on practicing for independently studying Adobe's. I took independent learning course in high school for a semester, and it was just basically spending my own time efficiently. I also talked about my long experience of doing art since elementary, and I think this is a good way to appeal yourself as an experienced artist. I talked about myself doing art in Korean art institutions and constantly taking art courses plus art-related clubs at school. It's quite cliche, but the most important thing in the essay is how clearly your essay answers the question. I was straightforward. Eventually, the portfolio is the most important thing, so I didn't really spend a lot of time on essays, to be honest. Moving on to UAL, I had to submit 20 pieces and I had to put sketch process on each of my pieces. I used Google Slides to put sketch process beside each piece on each slide. I'll show you my UAL portfolio. First tip, I don't prefer you guys getting those private counseling from institutions in Korea. First of all, I learned that it's illegal to let others write your personal information on the application instead, according to my school counselor. And those institutions do that for you, which is not good. I asked the place to let them send what they sent to the college admission, and they reluctantly sent me the application. I was shocked. They made wrong spellings on some of the information. Secondly, their essay editing was horrible. I told them I feel more comfortable writing essay in English, but they forced me to write an essay in Korean first. I wrote an awkward essay in Korean and sent them. They translated the whole thing and sent back to me. I was shocked again. There was a sentence, let alone create anything close to my expectation. And I was like, I would rather spend money on places that are only experts on English writing. I heard from my Korean friend that she paid money for those kind of places. Second tip, you don't need to get a high score on English efficiency test. You guys might think high score from IELTS or TOEFL will make you a better chance to get it, but
Nope.
my school counselor told me that it doesn't matter as long as your school meets the required score the school wants. That's why every school has put the required score information on the website. So you guys should rather put effort and time on your school GPA or SAT score. Third tip! For those who go to American schools, take a lot of AP courses to exempt general education courses you need to take in college. Some art schools might not require gen ed courses, but there will be some schools that require those courses, like my school. Fourth tip, art schools or design major, they won't require SAT tests, but I would prefer y'all to take it. SAT will give you bigger options to apply US colleges. If you also want to apply public schools like FIT or University of Florida, you must have a SAT score. For FIT, if you didn't take SAT, you have to take this math and English placement test at school, and it's just gonna add more work. If your score isn't good, you might have to take more math and English courses at FIT, but don't worry, at least FIT don't expect high score on SAT, approximate 1200s is okay. Also, the good thing about SAT is you get to improve your English a lot. That's how I improved on English, especially grammar skills. Fifth tip, send few impressive pieces for portfolio. Schools will tell you what's the minimum and maximum amount of pieces to send. I prefer you guys to send minimum amount since they're going to quickly skim over thousands or maybe millions of applicants' work. So the important thing is keep things short but very impressive. Alright, thanks for watching my video. I hope this video will be helpful for some students who are applying to college, especially art and design major. My GP, my SAT scores, they weren't good as other people, but despite that, what I want to say is even I got into so many colleges. So guys, please feel confident and don't be afraid that you'll get declined. You guys are the best, you know, you guys are talented.